Yeah, good morning, MarketChameleon.com. I'm Adam. That's Will. What's up, my man?
Just wondering about how one should parent a child for the greatest success, most opportunities. Just let them run free, barefoot in the
I
woods.
just had to scold my child. He's like, I don't want to go to football after school. Well, all right, man. You don't want to do anything? What are you supposed to do, man? What are you supposed to do, my brother?
You're asking the wrong guy. I need to just curl up and get back into bed. Curl up in a ball.
Oh, remember everybody, option trading, much like raising kids, is risky. You got to do your research. You got to dive deep. You got to know what you're doing, man. So you got to study. If you're following us on YouTube,
Well,
click that subscribe button, tick that bell, man. Love seeing you here. All our peeps on Twitter, Twitch, and around the world. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We are MarketChameleon.com. And what's Will going to bring us today, man?
it was a lot of scrolling down the market feed. I don't know what I went down a rabbit hole and it just kept going and going and going. So everything came off the market feed this morning.
Yep.
Always so much information on there. But the first one that popped up was this PSA, high call volume. But one thing I noticed, if you look at the volume, it's got an event here, the dividends.
Scroll
So
down
I
a little
just
bit so
thought
we
I'd
can see
break.
that.
So the details are typically hidden, but one of the magic features is you can view the details by clicking on View Details, and there it is. And it shows if there's an event coming up, a dividend. I did a little digger deeping on the Chameleon. It's a $2 dividend. But it made me think of something everyone should know when looking at unusual volumes is you can get an instance like this where a dividend, it's X date. So it's the last day you have to exercise
Right.
your options to actually get the stock. You have to have the stock. If you're long a call, you have to exercise the call, which makes you long the stock, which allows you to acquire the dividend.
Right.
Understood?
Yep.
So what these options traders are doing, it's a $2 dividend. So they look at the put and see the value of the put, the premium in the put. If it's less than $2, they will exercise the call to which will take away the call and give them long the stock. So they'll look at the put to see where the put is. If there's more premium than $2 in the put, they won't exercise it. So these were all the calls in play right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to do it unless there's some open interest. So what the traders on the floor are looking at, this can only be done by, I should have clarified this, by market participants on the floor because they have a cap on the amount of costs associated with exercising an option. For individual mom and pops here, it's not going to work trying to do this trade. But for the players on the floor,
Are you showing us how the fat cats are getting richer? Is that what you're showing us right here, bro?
this is a little. It's called a dividend spread. They're trading with each other at just doing this at fair value.
Yep.
And then they'll exercise, and they're each doing both sides of the trade. So they'll do one side with each other, and then they'll pick another guy and do the other side. So they're all both buying and selling these calls and buying and selling these calls. And then they'll exercise all the calls they're long. And what they hope is that someone in the marketplace like us
Yep.
doesn't exercise our call, forgets to, or just doesn't think about it.
Right.
And makes that mistake. If you don't exercise your call, you don't get the dividend. So this show overnight, this shows how many people didn't exercise their calls.
Really?
1,000
Wow.
here and
that many people?
1,400. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So, yeah, no. So just a little point of interest when playing, when looking at the unusual option volume. This was all call volume, so it shows up. You're like, oh wow, some big call. Everyone was playing the calls, and it wasn't. It was someone was doing these dividend spreads.
Dude, that is premium deep dive stuff, my man. Good job, dude.
Well, let's not go crazy.
Let's go crazy on that.
30% pounded.
Holy
pounded yesterday.
Incredible.
I was looking at the risk protection during the day, and it did spike. So this may have been the spike we were looking for that forced the people out. Like I said, and I actually did a mid-morning. If no one catches it, I review our morning report.
Yep.
On Facebook Live.
Yeah, for everybody joining us on Facebook, thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in.
So for all you Twitter Periscopies, whoever else is out there who gives a damn about MarketChameleon.com. I do a little recap of the morning report, and when I was doing it yesterday, I noticed that the BYND had spiked, and I advised people to put their offers out there. I think it got almost up to 190 during the trading day.
Wowzers! Wow.
So it was a.
I think you said the number was
ripper.
200. You were like, put it in a sell.
Well, no. 200 was the move that TLRY made.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was just put your stock out there. I mean, we'll see. This comes down. That may have been the spike that ripped the heads off the shorts, and now we're gonna go and go and go lower and lower and lower. Who knows where this drops? My guess would be somewhere just north of its IPO price eventually. That's
well, you've been wrong in the past.
One thing's for sure, I'll be 100%. There's a 100% chance I will be wrong in the future. If you can buy a put on that.
Yeah, but let's be clear. A meat product like this has never existed before in the history of humanity, my friend. It's a game changer. That's what they call it.
It's funny. For whoever watches Jim Cramer's show, last night I happened to catch it as I was doing some end of the day work.
Yep.
And he starts opening up packs of Beyond sausage and Beyond hamburger patties.
Oh yeah, really?
And starts throwing them around the studio, and then repicking it up. And it was really like for me, touching raw meat is really gross. And he's throwing it at his like motherboard, and it's sticking. And
why was he throwing it? Just for impact, or this? Just saying it's garbage.
That was his shtick. He was talking about today how people, if you didn't get your stock off, it was the time to whatever. He was just saying this thing is going lower and rah, 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 and yelling. Though he was saying it's a good company.
Sense usually will return to the market. Usually.
Yes.
And let's be clear, this is in nonsense territory right now.
He was yelling about tulip bulbs and tulip mania and Bitcoin bubbles but
what do they have? 40 million in revenue, and the company's valued at $9 billion. Yeah,
it's probably I'm sure if you put it in capitalization terms, it's probably right up there with Tyson Foods or the big processors. And obviously, its revenue is not. I mean, it's an exciting new product at the marketplace. But what I was going to say is what occurred to me. It's not meat, right? He can play with it all he wants. It doesn't have the bacteria and everything.
So what you're saying is, why were you grossed out, right?
Yeah, why was I shouldn't have been. He was like tossing around
It'd be like tossing around a vegetable. But it's not vegetables, is it? Nobody knows really what it is. What is it? Is it made out of like petroleum product?
I don't know. But this was it was on CNBC's Disruptor 50. And I think I talked to you about it, but this company can turn a yeast cell into just about anything. But
okay. So now we know what it is. So it's yeast. It's made from wheat.
No. Okay. Listen to me.
Is wheat yeast?
To get the red, bloody texture in the internals of the burger,
right?
They basically produce the hemoglobin in a yeast cell.
Right.
So the yeast cell becomes the hemoglobin. So they work with Beyond Meat to do this, or other purveyors of these type of products, but they can take these cells of the
yeast a living organism? It is, isn't it?
It is, yes.
So
and they can turn the cell.
It's still murder.
They can make the cell CBD oil. So they've, whatever they've done.
Right, dude. I don't know. Put your science hat on, man, because you don't sound sciencey right now. You don't sound
I'm not
sciencey.
It's a non-sciencey person trying to explain what the cell does. So it's a company that they basically can change the yeast cells into just about any other structure.
Wow.
That's cellular based. And so the thing they're working on now is CBD oil. So you can imagine, rather than growing all these plants, energy, water, whatever,
right?
They grow it in a lab, basically, the CBD oil. And I'm assuming.
Really? Can they grow gold, Will, in a lab? Can they grow gold?
I don't think gold has a cellular structure. Am I wrong? It's like an atom. But at some
Oh
point they
man,
may
this
be
is
able to.
dude. We're in crazy town now, man. We're
All right,
crazy town.
we'll go off that. This isn't a science show, but that was in the CNBC Disruptor 50. That company. It's not a publicly traded company, which is why I didn't really
Oh wait,
talk about it.
this what I thought you were. This isn't Beyond Meat you're talking about?
No, it's a company that provides one piece of the product inside the meat. It's not Beyond Meat. It's they are like a
Wait, but I
they
thought
provide a
that's what
cell.
Beyond Meat did. That's the tech they have that makes it so
That's
valuable.
some
You're
of their
telling me
that's
the
some
tech
of
they
their
don't even
tech,
own
but
that tech? That's owned by another company?
it's a piece of their tech. It's a piece of the inside of the meat comes from this yeast product. At least that's what the Disruptor 50 was saying on
Whoa.
CNBC.
Wait, are you saying that Beyond Meat doesn't own that very special part of the tech within their own that makes this meat?
I don't know if it was. Let's clarify. I don't know if they sold to Beyond Meat or other. There are other companies that are also doing what Beyond Meat is doing. You're right.
Yeah.
They may be doing that too. But anyways, they were in the Disruptor 50 list on CNBC. Look it up, go to it, and I wasn't even going to talk about that. This was pulled out of my head. This is something I read about and listened to the interview of the CEO. I'm just talking about how these structural changes are taking place and how they're taking food, making meat tasting looking products out of vegetables. It's at the cellular level.
Out of yeast. Well, that's not a vegetable, dude, right? Yeast.
Is it a grain?
It's an isn't it an organ? That's what I asked. Isn't it an organism? I thought it was like
Dude.
some sort of bacteria.
I mean, I think let's go to Mike. Wasn't he a chemist major at UT?
Can
Austin?
anybody any of the chats?
If this is the wrong, I am the wrong. I did not mean to go down this road.
God.
Anyways, we had a huge.
What are you doing, man? Come on, it's supposed to be an option show. Talking about yeast.
Huge spike in BYND yesterday. It could have been the top. The shorts, as Jake may have said, had their heads chopped off. And we'll see how.
By the way, yeast are single cell fungi.
That's a vegetable. XRT, the retail sector, just thinking about the ETFs this morning, and one of the ETFs popped in the retail space, popped up with put activity. I read a piece about this product, and this product is long CLIX, short bricks. Do you know what that means?
I have no idea what that means. What does that mean?
So they're long retailers over the internet and short retailers who actually have to get behind a door.
Okay.
And
long
sell
clicks,
it.
short breaks. That's good, man. See,
yes,
that's good marketing right there, man.
No options in it, but it's had a nice run. You compare it. Actually, it was was moving right with the retail sector, which is XRT. But now XRT is going to have the internet retailers in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're pulled out. So it's almost moved together since but it's now started to diverge, which seems a little late. The retailers have gone down. The CLIX have. This has benefited from the retailers going down, and the piece that is made up of the internet continuing to go up. So it's been short the retailers. So it's benefited from that. Has it benefited too much? Maybe. But anyways, if you wanted to continue being short the retailers, I did do a search for XRT. Lots of opportunity. There are no opportunities to do anything with the spreads and CLIX. But XRT, there are a bunch if you want to get short the retail sector. One stock that's actually been pounded at the brick level is Macy's. I thought during its first sell-off here that it was, and it's come right back to that
Maybe
level.
found a bottom. It did find a bottom. Then went up. Then found the
It
bottom.
did and went up, and then it's obviously a series of earnings, dividend payouts, store traffic. I mean, it's still got some problems, obviously. These retailers, it's a big deal. How are they going to change the experience? So there's been a lot of people taking their shots with the options to try to stay long this rather than just go and buying the stock. It's up.
Well,
it was up.
You wonder. I mean, it's a powerful brand, right? But
yeah, and they
always dude. You like going to the store. You like that experience. Some people, everybody still likes kind of an experience, but I don't know. For me, going shopping for clothes was not one of the is not one of the happy experiences of my life.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, there's different types of shopping, right? I like going in for my fruits and veggies, but I am not a mall shopper. I've never been a mall
People are
shopper.
chatting about how that's your social outlet. People are finding it quite hilarious.
It could be.
Not it could be. It is, man. I'm having this conversation with
No,
people.
I said it could be hilarious. That's what I'm saying. And it could be my social outlet. I'm not saying you're not having that conversation. It could be a social outlet. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
So
Probably
what
100%
prevents you
true.
from going to Macy's and making that your social outlet?
Well, I'm not the purchasing of clothes,
Yeah, it
which
doesn't
I
make you
associate
happy,
with
right?
Macy's,
It
is
doesn't
not like
thrill you.
No, it brings there are no stimuli. Like the looking at. I mean, it's not my. The retail sector is not my space.
Dude, I'm telling you, every boy on earth remembers and has a nightmare memory of shopping and going clothes shop. Well, I wouldn't say all, but a whole lot of boys I know have very negative connotations with clothes shopping.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Anyways, if you want to get bearish Macy's, lots of opportunity to put it on with theoretical edge, win rates, cushion if it goes higher, percent return. And this is the only reason I'm showing this is because I would probably think about doing the other side myself, but it's probably wrong. I would probably be long Macy's here, and it's probably going to zero. I mean, the problem is they always talk about how valuable their real estate is.
Yep.
But it's only valuable if someone's going to buy it, right?
Right. Well, that's an interesting point, right? It's like,
what do you do with the Macy's real
who's
estate?
Who's gonna replace what other shops are? If Macy's can't make it work, who else is going to be able to jump into that space?
I don't know.
And make it work?
Maybe it's CASY stores, general stores. This had a lot of bullish activity. It was up yesterday. It showed up in the market feed. It basically is the Midwest version of Wawa.
Okay.
Do you know Wawa?
I know Wawa,
yeah. Sheets in central part of Pennsylvania, the Sheets, which is a real big store, but they sell gas. Here's what the fixture looks like: fuels, a lot of different food groups, though it's
sandwiches,
apps,
salads, and wraps,
lots of pizzas, lots of drinks. Must move a lot out of the square footage of their stores. I don't know if you can put a CASY in every Macy's, but probably not. But they're huge, and if you look at their you see they are dead center in this country.
There you go, man. This is middle America right there.
This is a bet on middle America.
So what are the numbers telling you, man?
Go into the gas tank. Well, there are some bullish opportunities in CASY stores.
Were you there? Did I lose you, bro?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Or your brain's working, man. What are you working on?
I just brought it up. If you wanted to play, I mean, it's a stock near its 52-week high in the 130s. So I would use the options if you were going to play this move in the stock. The stock was higher after their announcement. Another retailer, well, it's a product sold on lots across America, Airstream. This is down near its 52-week low still.
Wait, that's still a company?
Yeah, Thor Industries.
Thor
Industries. It's a great product.
It's a great brand.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get it.
I didn't go to bought an Airstream, dude. It's got to be tough, man.
Find your perfect RV.
Wait, that's the Airstream brand?
No, yeah.
That's
Airstream's one of their brands. Yeah. See the newest Airstream? It's pretty cool looking.
That is pretty cool. But boy, that's a terrible first photo. Somebody's got to tell him that, dude.
That one you don't like?
This one? I mean, God, dang. That looks like a homeless man's van right there.
That's a good one right there.
That should be the first shot, or that. Yeah. Man.
Anyways, this is the grain of America should be good for this brand long term, I would think, but who knows? I've been wrong before. But there are some spread opportunities if you wanted to take down a Thor position on the long side. Again, there was some activity in the stock, which is why I looked at it. today.
Tiny homes, man. Why don't you just? I've been pushing this tiny home thing for a while, man. We can just buy one of those, live in that.
Have you ever stayed in a tiny home?
Go small.
I recommend
Yeah,
before anyone.
it was called an apartment back in my day.
It's called a closet.
Yeah, when you live, I lived in a studio apartment. That's small, man. You remember in Chicago, dude? I lived in a closet, dude. You remember that?
Yeah, closets are tight.
I lived in a closet for 6 months, man.
So you're ready to go back to that?
I'm ready.
Tiny home living.
No, I'm 100% the opposite. I am the opposite. My wife's like, I just want to downsize. I just want to get small. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that. I have no desire to have a small house where I have to hunt for everything and everything has to have its place. I want a big house, man.
If you go small, I mean, the one thing is if you're going small, every credit card, every ability to go to a store other than like it has to be such a conscious decision. You have to go to join the smallest bank in the area that's like a 5-hour drive away. You have to go to that one branch to get out money to actually go buy something. You have to eliminate all ease of access
all
of buying.
Purchase. Yeah, you can never purchase anything. Ugh.
Zero purchase. Any purchase has to be a throwaway.
Look, I get it from a perspective of, I want to save all this money and therefore I don't have to own a big house or I don't have to work. Like, I get it. You know, in my 20s, that was very enticing. It's not enticing in my 40s, man. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. I would make a real scary comment now, but I don't want to go.
Hey, if you're on the Chameleon, click the top right-hand corner, click that subscribe button, tick that bell. If you're watching on any of these channels, we are worldwide. MarketChameleon.com. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Hasta mañana.
Have a safe trading day. And Instagram's flying, by the way.
Yeah, man.
I see people coming off the Instagram story all the time.
Market Chameleon. The Market Chameleon. Is that right, bro?
Yes. I'm on Twitter and I trade vol. Thanks, Chameleons.
Later, everybody.